Okay, look, before we get into the cookie that's gonna change your life, we're gonna do an in-depth review of probably like the most popular cookies. So our review is gonna be based on a few different categories. Those categories are going to be taste, obviously, health, texture and consistency, user experience, just those. Okay, obviously taste is gonna be a pretty subjective thing, that's gonna be my own opinion, but then we're gonna dig into health. I'm gonna do a calories per gram analysis on the cookies. And then we'll go into texture and consistency. Again, it's gonna be a pretty subjective thing. Then we're gonna go into user experience. Now this one's a really big one for me because, we just wanna make sure, the package opens nice. Overall, it's just a good experience outside of the eating. If that, you get what I'm saying. We're gonna be rating all of these on a scale of 1 to 5. Simple? I think so. Okay, so then the first cookie. Okay, the first cookie we're gonna be getting into, probably the most obvious of all cookies, and it's just gonna be Oreos. Just OG Oreos, none of the special kinds like the mint or anything like that. And so, see, that's nice. That's already nice. And I know that if you close it, it sticks again. So automatically Oreo is gonna get a 5 on the user experience. So we'll go Oreo and then we'll just do UI and it's getting a 5 automatically. I mean, that's pretty obvious. We'll go taste, health, and texture. Okay, so, I mean, obviously everyone's had an Oreo, but let's just give it a go. I mean, that's an Oreo. That is good. I think for taste, that's gonna be like a 4.5. It doesn't have, my favorite flavors in it. I'd say 4.5 on taste. And for texture, let's just, I'm gonna say 3. I think there's not enough cream. Maybe I should have gotten double stuffed. I think that's why double stuffed is better. It's just less of that, you know what I mean? And then health. Okay, this is why I got my calculator out, okay? So, I'll just eat that. What we've got. Okay, so one serving is 160 calories, okay? 160. And then the serving size is 3 cookies, which is 34 grams. And so that's about 4.7 calories per gram. And I'm just gonna write 4.7 here, just to sort of give us a reference, because I'm not gonna be able to rate it right now, but 4.7, I think that's not great. I honestly think Oreos might be near the top. So I'm gonna order it from worst. No, we'll do worst over here and best over here. So we're gonna go Oreos. I think that's gonna be near the top. That's a pretty good one. And then next up, this one is a staple. If you haven't heard of it, I don't know what you're doing, but this is the Keebler Fudge Stripes. I think we're just gonna get right into it. Hold on, how do you open this? This could knock it down a few pegs on the user experience here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's a few things to dissect here. So you can't close it again, which is a huge, like, look at this. That doesn't even, barely looks like it's open. The Keebler Fudge Stripes, this is nice. They're all packaged really nice, but it doesn't close. So I think for the fudge stripe, I think we're gonna have to give that like a 3 maybe. I mean, that is not great. It just doesn't close. Okay. Man. That might be better than Oreos. I think the first thing I noticed was the texture. It's perfect. It's a perfect mix between crunch and soft. We're putting that as a 5 for now on the texture. That's really nice. That does feel good in my mouth. For taste, that is up there with Oreo. I mean, that is, whew. I'm gonna say it's the same as the Oreo. That was a 4.5 right there. Not quite perfect. There's some work to be done on the packaging. Now we gotta do some calculations. Okay, that's a 2. The user experience is a 2. That just can't happen. I can't, no. So we've got 140 calories and that 28 grams. Ooh, oh, that's an even 5. The more you know. Obviously 5 is more than 4.7. So that is technically, on my scale, less healthy than Oreos. This is tough, okay. My own opinion, just off of experience, I'm gonna put that maybe here, a little bit in front of Oreo, but right there, like pretty much level pegging right there. Okay, next up, what do we do? Now the next one is pretty tough because it's Chips Ahoy. Okay, so you've got soft Chips Ahoy and like the hard ones. These are just the original, which I think are the hard ones. I mean, the packaging looks the exact same as Oreo. I think, yeah, that might have been they were smart to do it, but plagiarism could have been a factor. Okay, user experience, let's just go for it. I mean, that's the same. That is the exact same as Oreo. Probably because the same company makes it. That is fair. Yep, 5. I mean, that's a 5. That has a bite out of it, it looks like. Okay, so these are the hard ones. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about these, but we're gonna go for it. Okay. I don't know. I mean, texture, that's a 2. Like, that is just, that might be kind of harsh, but it just seems dry. It's dry. The taste is, I'm gonna say 3.5 on the taste, because let's just go to health. These things are kind of disappointing me, to be honest with you. I haven't had a Chips Ahoy cookie in a very long time, but I expected a lot more. But can it make up for what it lacks in flavor? Here we go. So 33 grams, 160 cal. That doesn't sound very promising. 4.8. I'm putting that honestly right here. I know what's coming up, so I know there might be some sprinkled in there, but overall, was not a huge fan of the Chips Ahoy cookies. I think they would have been better soft. Next up, this one might trigger some people. Newtons. I would have gotten Fig Newtons, but I know I hate Fig. So there's no point. The packaging, it's Nabisco product. It's gonna have very nice packaging. I mean, I can't even diss on that. That's 5. Honestly, Nabisco's just taking the win on the packaging. That's an amazing experience right there. Okay, so, I mean, I got the strawberry ones. I don't know how that's gonna play out. Oh, man. I know I'm not gonna love these, but you know, this is more than just taste. This has a lot of factors that go into it, so let's go for it. That is not good. I've gotten enough from that. I think that told me everything I need to know about Newtons. Wow. Okay. Taste, I mean, that is a 1. That is a 1 for sure. Texture, I honestly like the texture of these more than these. And what I give, I'm gonna give that a 3 on texture. And that's being generous. It was nice in my mouth, I will say. It didn't taste good in my mouth, but the way it was in my mouth was pretty nice. Okay, health, 29 grams, 100 cal. Okay, that's gonna be about 3, which is actually really good. Okay, 3.4. So that's gonna take it. That's the big winner right now on health. Not very surprised, but that is plumb last. Just, wow. That was not, okay. Moving on. Now this one, you guys might not just eat on the regular, but if you've ever taken like a Delta flight, they're gonna give you one of these or something like that, just like a complimentary Biscoff cookie, okay? Now I know this one's gonna perform poorly because I don't think Biscoff cookies are meant to be eaten by themselves. User experience, I know that's gonna be terrible. Taste, that's gonna be average. So user experience, I know it's gonna be freaking terrible. There's no pull thing. I don't even think there's something inside of it. I mean, that's good. Might be good from a, you know, an econ perspective. You're spending less on packaging. Probably better for the environment, I don't know. I can't even open it. Okay, here we go. I already have crumbs on my desk. Okay, 1 to 5. That deserves a 0. We'll give it a 1 since it is 1 to 5. The first one, look at this, okay. The first one, before I even picked it up, it crumbled apart. Can you guys see that? I think you can see that. That's ridiculous. That is terrible. Okay. Second one, same thing. Okay, this is shaping up to be really bad here, but let's give her a bite. That's graham cracker. That tastes like graham cracker. Taste, that's a 2. Definitely better than the Newtons, but it still lacks just overall. I mean, it's one flavor throughout the whole thing. It's not, there's nothing like, there's no stages. Like with the fudge round, you kind of get like chocolatey and then you get the cracker and, you know, it just doesn't really, there's nothing to it. Texture, I'm gonna give it a 2. It's all crunch. There's no softness to it. Let's just get on to health. This is a disappointment. Okay, 150 by 31 grams. Okay, this isn't 4.8. Okay, that's actually pretty bad. Okay. The moment of truth. Okay, so this cookie, how do I want to say this? This cookie changed my life. The first time I ever had this cookie, even heard of it, was in, I think, freshman year, might have been sophomore year of high school. I think it was management, intro, like, it was like fundamentals of management or some, I don't know what it was called, to be honest with you. That teacher, shout out Mrs. Mans. She introduced me to this cookie, along with the rest of the class. It's just the whole package for a cookie. It's got everything. It's got fudge, or like a fudgy, you know, like the outside's like, it melts in your mouth. The inside's like creamy, and then it's got a little wafer. Like it's like fudge, wafer, cream, wafer, fudge, and that's the cookie. I mean, there's a whole like experience that you go through when you eat the cookie. It's like, you gotta get hot cocoa, and then let me just bring the cookie out, okay? Tim Tams, okay? Not only does it have my name in it, it is just the best. It's the National Cookie of Australia, fun fact. These things, I've been looking for these for a very, very long time. Now, okay, don't get me wrong. This cookie is going to lack in user experience. It's gonna lack in health. The taste and the texture of this cookie is completely unbeatable. Let's start with the packaging. I can't even diss this cookie, but you know, that packaging it's not ideal. Now, the fudge stripes I did put as a 2. This I'm gonna say is a 3 because I literally love them. You know, this does have bias to it. Let's just give this cookie, it smells good. Oh. I mean, like, it just, it makes you happy. It really does, like it genuinely. Now, I will say this cookie is a 5 just by itself, but there is a trick to making this cookie like ridiculously good, and it will change your life, I promise you. Taste 5, consistency 5, easy money right there. So what we've got here is 190 calories for 37 grams, which comes out to 5.1. So it plumb lasts on the health scale, and for good reason. I gotta show you guys. Okay, oh geez. Okay, so hot cocoa is in the oven. This is how I first experienced Tim Tams, and I think it's how everyone should first experience Tim Tams. So if you buy a package of Tim Tams, buy hot cocoa with it, make the hot cocoa, and then do what I'm about to show you. It will change your life, okay? Mrs. Mans, I love you. I have been hunting for this cookie for probably, 9th grade now. It has been 4 years of me looking for this cookie, and I found it like 2 weeks ago. That's why I'm making this whole video. Okay, so first of all, let's get all these off. No one cares. We'll do the tallying later, okay? I have another surprise later for this week. First things first, hot cocoa. These are the only 2 things you need. Forget about everything else. You don't need a calculator for this. You don't need your phone. You don't need a pen. Just you, Tim Tams, and a nice cup of hot cocoa, okay? Now, this is where it gets kind of intense. So when you go through this, you know, for the first time, you're gonna feel a lot of emotion. You know, it's gonna hit you right where it counts. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore. Step 1, you wanna open it, take out a cookie. Now, this cookie is just a rectangle. It's pretty simple. What you wanna do is you wanna bite off one end. You can bite off whatever end you want. You just bite off a little bit of the end. I'll show you. So just like that. I mean, that's fine. Can you guys see that? There we go. See how the one end is just bit off? Now you wanna go from there, diagonal, right here. Diagonal, bite that end off. Just like that. So you've got one of those, I don't know what that shape is, but there's a word for that. But now once you have that, and do this very carefully, you wanna take one end and put it in there, but not just yet. And then you wanna take your mouth over this and just suck as hard as you can until you feel that you're literally using this cookie as a straw. So, you guys ready? You can do this with me if you want. Just pause the video, go to Safeway, get some Tim Tams, or wherever else you can find Tim Tams, which is probably not many places. Get some hot cocoa and just do this with me, okay? It is not, you literally can't explain it. I have no words. It literally, you know, the wafers that are on it melts those. And when you put it in your mouth, it literally just melts over I wish I could explain it. It's like if I was the tongue, it's just like, that is an experience. That is something, it is not even just like eating a snack. It's a whole experience. That's wild. I feel like if you gave that to someone in like the medieval ages, they would literally die. Now, what I found at Safeway that I did not expect to find was Tim Tams, but with caramel in it. Now, if you don't know me, you wouldn't know this, but I love caramel. You know, if I go get a coffee, I'm gonna get something caramel flavored. If I go get candy, I'm probably gonna get something caramel flavored. I don't know what it is about caramel, but it just gets me going. Step 3, suck. Okay, that's weird because the caramel obviously doesn't melt. So it's like everything melts and it literally feels like liquid chocolate and like fudge in your mouth. And then there's just like a piece of caramel. So if you do this, I recommend trying it with the original first. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get down to the scores. How? Okay, whatever. Okay, so we've got Tim Tams, okay? We've got Tim Tams Biscoff. That is gonna break apart. That's fine. We've got Newtons. We've got Chips Ahoy, Fudge Stripe. What? I'm running out of room here. And Oreo. That's not center, but let's pretend that it is. Okay, so we've got all of these. Let's bring out our book. Now let's bring out the calculator and just do some math. Okay, I want the health to be less of an issue because first of all, who cares? The top three healthiest are gonna get a 2. And then the bottom 3 healthiest are gonna get a 1. With the Oreo, we had a user experience of 5 plus a taste of 4.5. That's gonna get, I don't know if I explained that right, but I really don't care right now. Bottom 3 get 2 points. The bottom, the 3 with the lowest cal per gram get 2 points. That is how I'm explaining it, and that's how it's gonna work. The texture for those was a 3. That brings it to a grand total of 14.5 out of 17. Let's go on to Fudge Stripes. So let's line these up. Oreo 14.5. Oreo, that's number 1. I don't agree with that, but it is my own scale and it's just how it's gonna roll. Okay, Tim Tam comes in with a score of 14 out of 17. That's gonna put her at number 2. Final spot on the podium is gonna go to Fudge Stripes. I agree with that. You know, if anything, I think Fudge Stripes might be closer to the top than it even is. 4th place is actually gonna go to Chips Ahoy. Now I can agree with that because the last 2 are pretty spectacularly terrible. In 5th place, wow, okay, the Newtons get 5th with 11 points. And in 6th place, plumb last, is the Biscoff cookie with a pretty terrible score of 6. And I think that's because standalone by itself, it's not a good cookie. It's really not, you know, I would eat it if I was really hungry, but other than that, it's not that great. And health, it's just not worth the calories. None of them really are other than Tim Tams, but there's that for you. So there are all those cookies. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit. Hey, I just want to thank everyone that is still watching. You guys are the best. I love each and every one of you. If you're still here, actually, why don't you just comment potato salad. Yeah, we'll do that one. And I hope all of you are having a great day. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for still watching. Everyone else who isn't watching right now can just die. And I can say that because, you know, they're not watching, they're not gonna hear it. And as long as you say something, you know, and they don't hear it, it's not really mean. So I'm fine with that. And just to give you guys a gift, I'm gonna sing a little bit here for you guys staying at the end, all right?